Moment from our studios on Republic TV, and we are broadcasting this evening. We have his family joining us on the show this evening. Here are the headlines on This Is Exclusive.
T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff.
For three nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed, AX4.
Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla sets off on the key Axiom 4 mission, says it is the beginning of India's human space program, says Jai Hind, Jai Bharat from space. 4 years after the Antilia bomb scare, allegation against the disgraced and former Mumbai Commissioner Param Bir Singh, the son of a former minister, says Param Bir was the real mastermind.
Had we not succeeded with that hit ended the war. I don't want to use an example of Nagasaki, but that was essentially the same thing. That ended that war. This ended that with the war.
Well, no one's really buying Trump in this minute. He compares the strikes on Iran to Hiroshima, Nagasaki, says strikes on the Iranian nuclear program was the hit that ended the war. Iran finally confirms that its nuclear sites were damaged in American strikes. First time that Tehran has officially acknowledged the extent of damage caused by the attack. "41 years ago, Rakesh Sharma's name echoed across a proud nation as India saw its first citizen in space. And today, that legacy has a powerful new chapter, 41 years later. A moment that transcends science and touches the soul of a billion Indians. And from the heart of Lucknow to the stars, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla has taken flight, becoming only the second Indian to orbit the Earth. He was on board the Axiom 4 mission this morning. He now carries the hopes, dreams, aspirations of an entire country. And in his own words, he carries the Tiranga on his shoulder.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff.
For three nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed, AX4.
After a 41-year-long wait, India has touched the stars again.
As we pass through them, we also just heard the call out for MVAC chill. We're going to trickle in rapid succession. The first one will be main engine cutoff. With that confirmation from Mission Control, the views on our screen here too, as that boost back, as affecting that SECO here, second engine cutoff.
From the streets of Lucknow and now aboard the Falcon 9, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla is scripting history.
I'm Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla.
A fighter pilot for 15 years, he was selected as one of 4 Indian astronauts in 2020.
A decorated Indian Air Force pilot, he carries with him the dreams of 1.4 billion Indians.
उत्सव नहीं देखा होगा। ये सारे प्रिंसिपल मैम्स आप देखिए किस तरह से खुश हैं, किस तरह से नृत्य कर रही हैं। शुभांशु के सफलता के लिए देखिए किस तरह का माहौल बना है। वाकई में ये अद्भुत है। इसके पहले कभी नहीं देखा गया कि इस तरह से सीमस की जो टीचर्स हैं, प्रिंसिपल हैं, वो इस तरह का माहौल बनाए।
बहुत 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 खुशी है, गर्व है और बस अब उस पल का इंतजार रहेगा जब वो वापस हमारे बीच आएंगे। अमेजिंग एक्सपीरियंस है।
क्या कहेंगे?
अमेजिंग, वेरी एक्साइटेड।
क्या
गूज बम्स है, फाइनली द डे।
भावुक क्षण है।
बिल्कुल मोमेंटस मोमेंट फॉर ऑल इंडियंस।
आज सीमस स्कूल के साथ पूरे देश का गौरव बढ़ाया।
बिल्कुल पूरे हिंदुस्तान, पूरे वर्ल्ड में लाइक इंडिया इज नोन फॉर नाउ आफ्टर राकेश शर्मा, फाइनली शुभांशु इज गॉन।
बहुत अच्छा,
सबके लिए बहुत गर्व और सम्मान की बात है।
The Axiom 4 mission faced multiple postponements. But today, under near perfect conditions, the Falcon 9 roared to life.
Right now, I am very relaxed now. Mission has been completely successful. It has completed the 2 stages, and so we are relieved now.
Aboard the International Space Station, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla will conduct several experiments in microgravity, paving the way for ISRO's Gaganyaan program. With a remarkable flying background, having logged over 2,000 hours in combat aircraft, Group Captain Shukla's selection for this mission is a testament to India's exceptional talent pool.
आज सुबह 7 बजे हुई थी बात।
हाँ जी,
सुबह 7 बजे बात हुई थी।
और उन्होंने आपको क्या बोला था आज सुबह?
यही बोला था कि मम्मी पापा आप लोग अपना ध्यान रखिए, अच्छे से रहिए, मैं मिशन कंप्लीट करके आता हूँ तो मुलाकात करता हूँ फिर आपसे।
This mission is more than just a launch. It's a leap.
This opportunity to ignite curiosity among kids. Even if this story, my story, is able to change one life, it would be a huge success for me. I'm Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla.
A leap for Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla. A leap for ISRO. And a leap for every Indian dreaming of the cosmos.
A fantastic moment this morning, ladies and gentlemen, as we saw the historic liftoff. Second Indian in space. The wait has taken 41 years. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla's father, Shambhu Dayal Shukla, joining us on This Is Exclusive this evening. Shambhu Dayal ji, namaste. Republic से बातचीत करने के लिए बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद. We saw your video. हमने देखा कि आप उस मोमेंट को आप देख रहे थे. All of you were very, very emotional. As a father whose son is only the second Indian in space, how do you feel today, Mr. Shambhu Dayal ji?
अब फील होता है, बहुत अच्छा लगता है. जब बच्चा जा रहा था तो थोड़ा सा ये है कि अपना बच्चा है और ऐसे मिशन पर जा रहा है जहाँ पर हम या कोई भी कोई सहायता नहीं कर सकता है, तो थोड़ा सा नर्वस लगा उस समय. मगर यह है कि बड़ी खुशी थी कि वो अपना मिशन पर उनका सक्सेसफुल मिशन लॉन्च हुआ और उसके लिए हम जो है हम क्या हमारे परिवार और सभी देश प्रदेश के जितने भी हमारे शुभचिंतक हैं सबको मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं. और वो उन्होंने जो है उनकी आशीर्वाद से ही हमारे बच्चे का मिशन आज सफलतापूर्वक लॉन्च हुआ. इसके लिए हम बहुत खुश हैं.
शंभू जी, आपका बातचीत कब हुआ शुभांशु, ग्रुप कैप्टन शुभांशु शुक्ला के साथ? We spoke to your wife and Shubhanshu Shukla's sister as well. उन्होंने बोला कि आज सुबह कॉल आई थी. I think early morning एक कॉल हुआ था आपके साथ जाने से पहले.
जी 4 बजे के करीब जो है वही 4 बजे के करीब कॉल आई थी और हमारी बात हुई थी, हम लोगों की बात हुई थी और बता रहे थे कि मैं तैयार होकर बस निकलने वाला हूँ. और उसके बाद वो 5 मिनट बाद निकल गए थे. फिर रास्ते में एक बार कोशिश की थी मगर वो गाड़ी में बात नहीं हो पाई हम लोगों की. वो आखिरी कॉल 4 बजे की सुबह की थी.
हाँ जी. नो, आप थोड़ा हमें बताइए बिकॉज वन ऑफ द जो हिंदी में जो मैसेज दी थी उन्होंने, हम सब देख रहे थे, लाइव देख रहे थे, लाइव टीवी पर. बहुत गर्व है हमें कि वो हिंदी में उनका मैसेज आया था स्पेस से. जब वो फाइनल डिटैचमेंट हुआ था, जब स्पेस एंटर किया था, तो वो जो मैसेज है वो सुन के आपको क्या लगा आपको?
जी बहुत खुशी हुई. उसने जो है जय हिंद जय भारत करके जो है मैसेज दिया था, उसने बहुत अच्छा लगा. और बेटा मेरा हिंदुस्तानी है ना, तो हिंदुस्तान के ही हिसाब से जो है उसका दिल भी है, उसी हिसाब से वो अपना विचार व्यक्त किया उसने जो भी है उसके दिल में. और हम लोग भी पूरा जो है उसी के उसमें रमे हुए हैं, उसी तरह बात करते हैं, उसी तरह मतलब जीवन शैली है हम लोगों की और वही रहते हैं हम लोग.
आपने एक चीज बोला को हिंदुस्तानी सिर्फ हिंदुस्तानी नहीं है, वो एक योद्धा है, वो एक वॉरियर है. ही इज एन इंडियन एयरफोर्स पायलट, ही इज अ चैंपियन, ही इज गोइंग टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ द गगनयान मिशन.
जी.
राइट. जब इनका जो करियर शुरू हुआ था, थोड़ा बताइए हमें शुभांशु शुक्ला जो है उनके बारे में, अबाउट हिज चाइल्डहुड एंड व्हाई, हाउ ही वांटेड टू सर्व द कंट्री.
अब वो शुरू में ऐसा कुछ नहीं था, वो इंटर के पहले ही उसका एनडीए में सिलेक्शन हो गया और उसका जाने का मन बन गया, तो मैंने भी जो है उसको रोका नहीं उस बात के लिए. और जब भी वो जिसमें मतलब ये है कि जो भी प्रयास करता है उसमें सक्सेस होता है, और हमेशा हर प्रयास में सक्सेस हुआ, पहली बार सक्सेस हुआ. और उसका प्रयास हमेशा एक अच्छे मिशन के लिए ही होता है, और ये भी उसका मिशन जो था वो सक्सेसफुल रहा, बहुत अच्छी तरह वो गया है. और मिशन सक्सेस होकर वो लौट कर आएगा तो हम लोग से मिलेंगे. बढ़िया है.
ये जो 2-3 हफ्ते का डिले हुआ था शंभू जी, डिले 2-3 बार हुआ था, डिले टेक्निकल ग्लिच के वजह, तो इस गैप में क्या आपने उनसे बातचीत की थी? क्या लग रहा था उनको इस डिले के बारे में?
डिले के बारे में उसी ने बताया था कि टेक्निकल कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ जाती है, थोड़ा सा जो इसको प्रेशराइज करके देखा जाता है तो उसमें टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम जब कभी निकल आती हैं तो उसको वो सुधारते हैं. और ये प्रक्रिया हर मिशन में होती है, कुछ ऐसा नहीं कि इसी मिशन में हो रही है. इसके लिए उसने बताया कि हर मिशन में 2, 3, 4, 5 बार ये दिक्कतें आती हैं तो उसको वो सही करते हैं, और पूरी तरह वो कॉन्फिडेंट जब हो जाते हैं तभी उस मिशन को वो जो है वो ओके करते हैं, तभी मिशन ये लॉन्च होता है.
जी नहीं, अब आपके जो पत्नी है वो बता रहे थे, मैडम बता रहे थे शुक्ला जी, कि वो बोल रहे थे कि 15 दिन के बाद मिलूंगा आपसे. तो आपसे क्या बातचीत हुई थी लास्ट में? व्हाट वाज हिज मूड लाइक? जोश कैसा था आज सुबह?
सुबह जोश बहुत अच्छा था, बहुत अच्छा, खुश थे सब, बिल्कुल बड़े आनंददायक थे, सब खुश थे. तो उसमें जो है यही बता रहे थे कि मतलब जो है मैं जा रहा हूँ मिशन पर, लौट कर जो है जल्दी आता हूँ, आपसे मिलता हूँ आके, अब निश्चिंत रहो तुम जो है बिल्कुल. हाँ. जैसे वो खुश रहते हैं, बिल्कुल हमेशा ऐसे ही खुश रहता है, वो भी खुश रहता, हम भी खुश रहे.
और मेरा आखिरी सवाल आपसे ये है कि बहुत सारा बातचीत हो रहा है कि वो उनके साथ गाजर का हलवा और मूंग दाल का हलवा और क्या क्या लेके जा रहे हैं उनके साथ. थोड़ा हमें, हमारे दर्शकों को भी बताइए आप थोड़ा, व्हाट वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट नेक्स्ट 15 डेज, क्या क्या लेके जा रहे हैं उनके साथ, ऑफ कोर्स outside of aspirations and the prayers of billions of Indians. Yes.
अब उनके साथ 2-3 चीज़ें हम लोगों को पता हैं, जैसे गाजर का हलवा है या मूंग दाल का हलवा है, या कुछ ऐसे जो है उनको इसरो की तरफ से जो भी टारगेट दिए गए हैं उन पर वो रिसर्च करेंगे और उसी के हिसाब से ये वर्क करेंगे. जो कुछ है उन्हीं की तैयारी है, तो उसमें जो है वो अपना पूरा कर रहे हैं.
आपको बधाई once again, Shambhu Dayal ji. Thank you for speaking to Republic TV. I'm sure a lot of people are congratulating you today. The whole country is proud of Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla और from the entire Republic TV team. आपको बहुत बधाई. Congratulations, sir. Thank you very much.
ठीक.
Okay, we have some big breaking news coming in on the Antilia bomb scare case. The explosives that were placed outside the house of Mukesh Ambani in the year 2021. There has been a development on this story. Let me go straight to the breaking news now coming in. Now, after the former Home Minister of Maharashtra, Anil Deshmukh's son, Salil Deshmukh, made a claim that Param Bir Singh was the mastermind. We're getting in more details now on the show of another, even though he's not been named in the charge sheet as one of the conspirators, there is a testimony, a cyber expert's testimony that says it was Param Bir Singh who paid for a fictitious terror group's name to be included. I'm going across to Sandeep joining me with the details. Sandeep, hearing that it was Param Bir Singh, allegedly, now this is as per source-based information, that it was Param Bir Singh who instructed the fabrication of this terror group called Jaish-ul-Hind and even paid cash for it.
See, this is something that is the part of the investigation, but ultimately, when this whole incident had happened, at that very point in time, a telegram message was in fact got viral within the circles of media, from which was said to be coming from Jaish-ul-Hind, and which had in fact claimed the gelatin sticks that were in fact kept before Antilia were from that very group. But within the seconds, that group was in fact deleted, and in fact no traces were found later on. When NIA took in the action and in fact started investigation in this very case, it appeared that it was a part of a conspiracy in which Sachin Waze himself was involved, and later on, remember, Param Bir Singh was also quizzed in this very matter. But ultimately, fresh allegations has been made, not just by Salil Deshmukh. In the past, Anil Deshmukh has also made this allegation. We've been trying to connect to Param Bir Singh, the former Mumbai police commissioner, someone who was put out of the service because of his suspicious role. And in fact, following which there are allegations. He's been quizzed by NIA, but so far no statement being made by Param Bir Singh.
Okay, thank you for that. For that information, Param Bir Singh, is he the mastermind? That's the claim being made. Thank you for joining us. Another breaking news story on This Is Exclusive this evening. India's aviation emergency. The rot is still emerging. I have some more breaking news on the show. Exclusive details of the DGCA audit that was conducted. DGCA teams have found multiple cases where maintenance of aircraft was not carried out as per work order. Cases of defects reappearing many times on the aircraft, indicating ineffective monitoring, inadequate rectification action on the defects. Multiple cases of recurring aircraft defect, indicating ineffective monitoring. Non-compliance with maintenance work orders. Let's go across to Harsha joining us live. Quickly, Harsha, if you can summarize what the DGCA has found in a minute.
So, Niranjan, to summarize for you, because right now I'm reporting from DGCA office only, outside DG office, because back-to-back Air India officials are being summoned at the DGCA office because not complying by what DGCA early in their notice also told Air India to maintain their aircraft route. Now we have got to know that the inspection was carried out at Mumbai and Delhi airport, and it was found that the aircraft had repeated defects. The engines were fault, there were issues in the tires of the aircraft, there were issues in the flap of the door and the landing gears as well. And this was conducted almost in the 30 to 40 aircraft of different airlines. The airline's aircraft which was defected is not mentioned by DGCA, but we have got to know that mainly it was Air India Express and Air India aircraft. There were only 2 to 3 aircraft of Indigo in which the defect was found, and DGCA in its detailed report to the airlines have clearly stated that until unless they don't maintain the defects or fix the defects of the aircraft, they will not be allowed to fly. Already Air India has reduced its operation by 30% overall and internationally by 15%. But now Air India has to maintain those aircraft which are right now flying and are defected. So the DGCA has sent an entire report to Air India, Indigo and the other airlines as well, like Air India Express. Now we have to see exactly now, will these airlines compliance by DGCA survey or not? Back to you.
Thank you for joining us with those details, Harsha. The details will be also on republicworld.com, a very detailed report. Many findings by the DGCA as India's aviation emergency post-mortem continues. Thanks for watching. This is Exclusive.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar. Guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
विमल में गुलिस्तां के ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की जुबान में खुद को ऐसे डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं? विमल, बोलो जुबान कैसी?
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
T-10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and lift
For three nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed, AX4.
T plus 30 seconds into flight with the Axiom 4 crew on board Dragon, headed to the International Space Station. Waiting to hear callouts from the Falcon 9 engineering team.
Power and telemetry nominal. Stage 1 throttle down.
We're throttling down the 9 Merlin engines. We're into the throttle bucket, preparing for max Q.
Max Q. Vehicle is supersonic.
We should begin throttling the Merlin engines back up now.
Stage 1 throttle up.
Mission control confirming.
Stage 1 Bravo.
That throttle up, and we
Copy
are
1 Bravo.
hearing our commander Peggy Whitson call out the first abort mode. Each of these are a specific phase where if for any reason we had an in-flight
Impact
abort,
show underway.
Dragon would abort to a safe location. So we're going to call out each of those milestones as we pass through them. We also just heard the call out for MVAC chill. We're going to trickle just a little bit of liquid oxygen now into the turbo pumps on board our Merlin vacuum engine on stage 2 in preparation for second engine start 1, which will of course be shortly after stage separation. Now, at this point, we are just about 30 seconds away from 4 events that are going to happen in rapid succession. The first one will be main engine cutoff, or MECO, then again followed by stage separation, ignition of that second stage engine, which we are already
Stage
preparing
1
for, as well as the first stage's boost back burn. With that confirmation from Mission Control that we are throttling the first stage engines down, we are expecting MECO at T plus 2 minutes and 26 seconds.
MECO. Stage separation confirmed. Stage 1 boost back startup and back ignition.
नमस्कार मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, वॉट अ राइड। 40 साल बाद हम वापस अंतरिक्ष में पहुंच गए हैं और कमाल की राइड थी। इस समय हम 7.5 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की रफ्तार से पृथ्वी के चारों तरफ घूम रहे हैं और मेरे कंधे पे मेरे साथ मेरा तिरंगा है जो मुझे बता रहा है कि नहीं हूँ, मैं आप सबके साथ हूँ। ये मेरी इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन तक की जर्नी की शुरुआत नहीं है, ये भारत के ह्यूमन स्पेस प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत है और मैं चाहता हूं कि आप सभी देशवासी इस यात्रा का हिस्सा बने। आपका भी सीना दिल से चौड़ा होना चाहिए, आप भी उतना ही एक्साइटमेंट दिखाइए। आइए हम सब मिलकर भारत के इस ह्यूमन स्पेस प्रोग्राम की जर्नी की शुरुआत करें। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
T-10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and lift
For three nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed, AX4.
T plus 30 seconds into flight with the Axiom 4 crew on board Dragon, headed to the International Space Station. Waiting to hear callouts from the Falcon 9 engineering team.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
विमल में गुलिस्तां की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की इस जुबान में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना? विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सबको बने।
MDH।
नमस्कार मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, व्हाट अ राइड। 40 साल बाद हम वापस अंतरिक्ष में पहुंच गए हैं और कमाल की राइड थी। इस समय हम 7.5 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की रफ्तार से पृथ्वी के चारों तरफ घूम रहे हैं और मेरे कंधे पे मेरे साथ मेरा तिरंगा है जो मुझे बता रहा है कि नहीं हूँ, मैं आप सबके साथ हूँ। ये मेरी इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन तक की जर्नी की शुरुआत नहीं है, ये भारत के ह्यूमन स्पेस प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत है और मैं चाहता हूं कि आप सभी देशवासी इस यात्रा का हिस्सा बने। आपका भी सीना चौड़ा होना चाहिए, आप भी उतना ही एक्साइटमेंट दिखाइए। आइए हम सब मिलकर भारत के इस ह्यूमन स्पेस प्रोग्राम की जर्नी की शुरुआत करें। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
T-10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff.
For 3 nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed, AX4.
T plus 30 seconds into flight with the Axiom 4 crew on board Dragon, headed to the International Space Station. Waiting to hear callouts from the Falcon 9 engineering team.
Power and telemetry nominal. Stage 1 throttle.
We're throttling down the 9 Merlin engines. We're into the throttle bucket, preparing for max Q.
Max Q. Vehicle is supersonic.
We should begin throttling the Merlin engines back up now.
Stage 1 throttle up.
Mission control confirming.
Stage 1 Bravo.
That throttle up, and we
Copy
are
1 Bravo.
hearing our commander Peggy Whitson call out the first abort mode. Each of these are a specific phase where if for any reason we had an in-flight
Back
abort.
show underway.
Dragon would abort to a safe location. So we're going to call out each of those milestones as we pass through them. We also just heard the call out for MVAC chill. We're going to trickle just a little bit of liquid oxygen now into the turbo pumps on board our Merlin vacuum engine on stage 2 in preparation for second engine start 1, which will of course be shortly after stage separation. Now, at this point, we are just about 30 seconds away from 4 events that are going to happen in rapid succession. The first one will be main engine cutoff, or MECO, then again followed by stage separation, ignition of that second stage engine, which we are already
Stage
preparing for, as well as the first stage's boost back burn. With that confirmation from Mission Control that we are throttling the first stage engines down, we are expecting MECO at T plus 2 minutes and 26 seconds.
MECO. Stage separation confirmed. Stage 1 boost back startup and back ignition. T minus 10.
From your smart TVs to your smartphones, the trending stories are always breaking the internet. CBSE has today introduced a new policy where Class 10 board exams will not just be held once but twice. Meanwhile, carrying the badge of India proudly on his shoulders, Shubhanshu Shukla has scripted history today. Also, billionaire Jeff Bezos is all set to tie the knot in a lavish 3-day wedding in Venice, in Italy, but not everybody is quite happy with the sheer opulence of it. Meanwhile, it seems like global embarrassment is in for Donald Trump once again. Wherever he goes, this embarrassment follows. This time, his lies on the nuke site attack in Iran have been exposed for the world to see. We'll get you all that updates on the trending. Not just this, we are also tracking a story from New York. An Indian origin Muslim man has been elected. In fact, he is in the mayor primary race. He has won the primary race for mayoral elections for the very first time. And there has been a lot of controversy surrounding Zohran Mamdani. So who is Zohran Mamdani? We'll tell you. The Indian Connect as well. India's very own golden boy Neeraj Chopra has clinched the top spot once again. He has clinched gold once again. We'll get you all that and more in this power-packed edition of Trending Tonight with me, Rakshita Mishra. CBSE has announced a new norm. Now, the 10th board examinations will not just be held once but twice. You heard me right, viewers. The Central Board of Secondary Education has approved a biannual model of examination from the 10th class, which supposedly will reduce the pressure of a single high-stakes examination. Now, under the new policy, it will be mandatory for all the students to appear for the Phase 1 exam. The second phase, however, will be optional. This will give the students the chance to reappear for the exams if they wish to improve their scores. And as reported, only the highest score between the two exams will be the final result. While this is aimed at reducing the students' stress, not everybody is quite impressed with it. Some parents and students also claim that this might just add on to the existing academic pressure. All right, viewers, now shifting focus to the other big story that we're tracking. SpaceX's latest Dragon spacecraft made its debut flight this morning. Aboard this pioneering spacecraft are the 4-member Axiom 4 mission to the International Space Station on behalf of Houston-based Axiom Space. The brand new Crew Dragon capsule lifted off precisely at 12:01 p.m. Indian Standard Time from the Launch Complex 39A at the Kennedy Space Center of NASA in Florida, marking a powerful start to this mission. Watch this historic liftoff on your screens.
nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed, AX4.
Now, in his message to India, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla says, and I quote, "The tricolor on my shoulder is reminding me that I'm not alone. This is not the start of my international space journey, but of our country." In fact, just take a listen into this message, viewers.
मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, what a ride! 40 साल बाद हम वापस अंतरिक्ष में पहुंच गए हैं और कमाल की राइड थी। इस समय हम 7.5 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की रफ्तार से पृथ्वी के चारों तरफ घूम रहे हैं और मेरे कंधे पे मेरे साथ मेरा तिरंगा है जो मुझे बता रहा है कि नहीं हूँ, मैं आप सबके साथ हूँ। ये मेरी इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन तक की जर्नी की शुरुआत नहीं है, ये भारत के ह्यूमन स्पेस प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत है और मैं चाहता हूं कि आप सभी देशवासी इस यात्रा का हिस्सा बने। आपका भी सीना गर्व से चौड़ा होना चाहिए, आप भी उतना ही एक्साइटमेंट दिखाइए। आइए हम सब मिलकर भारत के इस ह्यूमन स्पेस प्रोग्राम की जर्नी की शुरुआत करें। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Now, after the liftoff, Commander Peggy revealed the name of the new SpaceX Dragon spacecraft headed to the ISS. Meet Grace.
Orbital insertion, SpaceX, and we had an incredible ride uphill, and now we like to set our course for the International Space Station aboard the newest member of the Dragon fleet, our spacecraft named Grace. Grace is more than a name. It reflects the elegance with which we move through space against the backdrop of Earth. It speaks to the refinement of our mission, the harmony of science and spirit, and the unmerited favor we carry with humility. Grace reminds us that spaceflight is not just a feat of engineering, but an act of goodwill. The benefit of every human, everywhere.
And viewers, just a short while back, I spoke to the man who designed the mission badge for Shubhanshu Shukla. Manish Tripathi tells us the story of this insignia on Shubhanshu Shukla's, Group Captain Shukla's uniform. Well, thanks so much, Mani, for joining us on Republic TV. It's a proud moment for all of us and for you as well, because he's carrying your design there with him too. Tell us the story about this badge, because that has very interesting features also, because it combines somewhere the heritage and technology.
Thank you so much, Rakshita, for having me here. First of all, I would like to congratulate the entire nation for this feat. And Jai Hind, I'll start with that. Jai Bharat. This is definitely, really, big for me. We do design a lot of things, but something which, when we get to do things which is for the nation, for the countrymen, I think that's the biggest thing. And anybody, for any individual, it's like it's a great achievement. The mission badge in itself is a sign. Basically, I'll tell you, because once I got in touch with Shubhanshu Shukla, so he very categorically mentioned that we need to design a badge which is there to inspire the coming generation. The badge which carries the legacy, which if somebody sees that badge, and that badge can tell what is India all about in space, and the legacy which we carry, and what we probably aspire to do, what are our ambition.
So, if you talk about the, there are the phases of moon also. There is the feature of Aryabhatta, Jantar Mantar. Everything is there. So, you could just tell us the idea behind all this imagery or the symbols, the signs that have been used.
Basically, I personally felt that obviously, like if you say Aryabhatta itself, it's already the 50th anniversary of the Aryabhatta, the space. While you see the moon, the lunar, it's also portrays the growing legacy of India in the lunar, space. Of course, you'll see a lot of mathematical sign, which resonates with India in many ways, and then there are astronomical signs.
Well, that's beautiful. I think the entire thought that has gone into it, and what you told about how Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla also had this contribution of, that he envisioned something that would inspire the coming generations. But also tell us how long did it take to design? How did you just put things together? Were you really thinking like very hard, or was it very simple? Did it just come very in a flow?
So first of all, we, because he happens to be my school senior, so we are from the same hometown, and that's when we were discussing about what to do, what not to do, how to put. And his vision was very clear that he was very well focused on the fact that it has to inspire the generations to come. He wanted that the generation to come should get sort of lured, or rather not inspired to explore more. They when they see, they should get inspired.
Okay, so when was the last time you had any interaction with Group Captain Shukla? Did you send him wishes? And ever he mentioned about the space mission to you?
Yes, I kept it very. It is also important to probably act a little sensible when you are connected to such a person. And also at this point of time, I felt it is very, very important for him to concentrate on his mission. So rather than bothering him on calls or messages, I just simply dropped a message, wishing him all the best for the mission, and he obviously he reciprocated with all the warmth.
Thank you so much, Manish, for joining us on Republic TV and sharing the idea behind that very special badge. And of course, India continues to keep an eye on this space mission, as you would be also doing. Thank you so much, Manish. Now, billionaire Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and media mogul Lawrence Sanchez are all set to exchange vows in Venice in a lavish 3-day wedding celebration that promises to be a spectacle of extreme wealth and luxury. However, their grand affair is stirring controversy, with activists from Greenpeace protesting the event. Now, citing concerns over wealth inequality, tax avoidance and the impact of luxury tourism on the fragile city, these protests are making headlines. In a stunning display of opulence now, the multi-day wedding will be hosted aboard Bezos' $500 million super yacht, that is Koru, and promises to be a celebration of extreme wealth and luxury. Guests from around the world will be treated to handcrafted Venetian glassware, exclusive suites from Rosa Salva, and an extravagant showcase of couture bridal fashion. Meanwhile, activists from Greenpeace Italy and the British group Everyone Hates Elon have raised their voices against the billionaires, demanding more from them than just extravaganza. The message is clear. The critics argue that such access in a city already grappling with over-tourism and inequality is a glaring symbol of systemic imbalance, in their words. And while Bezos and Sanchez have made headlines for asking their guests to donate to charity instead of bringing gifts, the backlash has only intensified. For many, this gesture does not go far enough. As the world's richest individuals host this private event that seems to bypass the reality space by everyday citizens, the call for greater accountability from the ultra-wealthy grows even louder. It's time now to take a look at all the trends that are running hot today on social media. Months after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was reprimanded by the US President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance for not wearing a suit to the Oval Office, he was seen suiting up for dinner with the President. The leaders are both in The Hague for the NATO summit, and seeing Zelensky suiting up to meet Trump has the internet erupting. And speaking of Zelensky, it appears that the Ukrainian president snuck into the NATO family photo in The Hague. Despite Ukraine not being one of the 32 NATO countries and trying so hard to be into NATO, Zelensky made an appearance in the picture. He's seen squeezed next to Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Union, the European Commission, and behind French President Emmanuel Macron. FBI Director Kash Patel has reportedly dug up evidence that China interfered with the 2020 US presidential elections, and the agency had earlier shut down an investigation that showed the former director bearing proof. Now it has been reported that Patel plans to hand over to Congress proof that former FBI Director Christopher Wray had lied to Congress. Chaos erupted in Mumbai metro after a train halted at the station was engulfed in smoke. An empty private bus caught fire near Param metro station on the Western Express Highway in Mumbai's Borivali area on Tuesday afternoon, sparking panic among the metro commuters. There has been heavy flooding in China's Sandu County. Now take a look at these dramatic visuals of a truck cab dangling after a highway bridge collapsed, leaving the driver trapped inside. He was reportedly rescued later on. US Vice President J.D. Vance thought President Donald Trump issued a nuclear attack by pressing a red button. But no, that was just the Diet Coke button. Take a look at this clip to see where the confusion stemmed from.
This foreign leader, and the president looks over at me, puts the foreign leader on mute and says, "This is not going very well," and he presses the red button. and my eyes get really big, and I'm like, "Mr. President, you know what just happened?" And he looks at me and he goes, "Nuclear, nuclear." And 2 minutes.
Neeraj Chopra, India's Olympic and world champion in javelin throw, won the men's title at the Ostrava Golden Spike 2025 in the Czech Republic with a best throw of 85.29 meters, marking his second consecutive international victory after his recent triumph at the Paris Diamond League. In yet another major global embarrassment for the United States president, a bombshell leak from a preliminary US intelligence report has ignited a firestorm of controversy. It reveals that Trump's strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities fell far short of his claims of complete destruction. Now, according to the report from the Defense Intelligence Agency, in fact, before that, we will just take a listen into what what is the reaction coming in?
Report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
So according to the report from the Defense Intelligence Agency, the strikes only managed to set back Iran's nuclear program by a few months, leaving the country's stockpile of enriched uranium intact and its centrifuge operations largely functional. A 5-page preliminary report assessing the US strikes on Operation Midnight Hammer suggests that US strikes may have only sealed off the two entrances of the nuke facility in Fordo. The report further contends that the underground building may not have collapsed, and Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium was moved before the strikes, and Trump's obliteration claim may be just exaggerated. The assessment, viewers, paints a starkly different picture from Trump's assertions of a spectacular military success, instead suggesting that Iran could potentially restart its nuclear program within months. But viewers, Trump being Trump has had a complete meltdown now. He had a string of insults ready for the news networks at a press conference who had carried this story.
Tremendous success, and this is the New York Times. I call it the failing New York Times. It's going to hell. And CNN, which, as you know, very few people are watching. This was an unbelievable hit by genius pilots and genius people in the military, and they're not being given credit for it because we have scum that's in this group, and not all of you are. You have some great reporters, but you have scum. CNN is scum. MSDNC is scum. The New York Times is scum. They're bad people. They're sick. And what they've done is they're trying to make this unbelievable victory into something less. Now, even they admit that it was hit very hard.
Just hours later, US President Donald Trump on Wednesday posted a video on his Truth Social handle featuring a compilation of B-2 stealth fighter jets dropping bombs at different places. right, viewers. Now, at Republic Media Network, we celebrate the dreams of those who rise to grow, to build, and to lead. Building Bharat, real estate, real impact. Republic Media Network's inaugural real estate conclave on the 27th of June celebrates the future of India's urban transformation.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar. Guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IAHM.
विमल में गुलिस्तां के ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की जुबान में खुद को ऐसे डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं? विमल, बोलो जुबान कैसी?
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
T-10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and lift
For three nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed, AX4.
T+30 seconds into flight with the Axiom 4 crew on board Dragon, headed to the International Space Station. Waiting to hear call-outs from the Falcon 9 engineering team.
Power and telemetry nominal. Stage 1 throttle.
We're throttling down the 9 Merlin engines. We're into the throttle bucket, preparing for max Q.
Max Q. Vehicle is supersonic.
We should begin throttling the Merlin engines back up now.
Stage 1 throttle up.
Mission control confirming
Stage 1 Bravo.
that throttle up, and we
Copy
are
1 Bravo.
hearing our commander Peggy Whitson call out the first abort mode. Each of these are a specific phase where if for any reason we had an in-flight
Back
abort,
show underway.
Dragon would abort to a safe location. So we're going to call out each of those milestones as we pass through them. We also just heard the call out for MVAC chill. We're going to trickle just a little bit of liquid oxygen now into the turbo pumps on board our Merlin vacuum engine on stage 2 in preparation for second engine start 1, which will of course be shortly after stage separation. Now, at this point, we are just about 30 seconds away from 4 events that are going to happen in rapid succession. The first one will be main engine cutoff, or MECO, then again followed by stage separation, ignition of that second stage engine, which we are already
Stage
preparing for, as well as the first stage's boost back burn. With that confirmation from mission control that we are throttling the first stage engines down, we are expecting MECO at T plus 2 minutes and 26 seconds.
MECO. Stage separation confirmed. Stage 1 boost back startup and back ignition.
नमस्कार मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, व्हाट अ राइड। 40 साल बाद हम वापस अंतरिक्ष में पहुंच गए हैं और कमाल की राइड थी। इस समय हम 7.5 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की रफ्तार से पृथ्वी के चारों तरफ घूम रहे हैं और मेरे कंधे पे मेरे साथ मेरा तिरंगा है जो मुझे बता रहा है कि नहीं हूँ, मैं आप सबके साथ हूँ। ये मेरी इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन तक की जर्नी की शुरुआत नहीं है, ये भारत के ह्यूमन स्पेस प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत है। और मैं चाहता हूं कि आप सभी देशवासी इस यात्रा का हिस्सा बने। आपका भी सीना चौड़ा होना चाहिए, आप भी उतना ही एक्साइटमेंट दिखाइए। आइए हम सब मिलकर भारत के ह्यूमन स्पेस प्रोग्राम की जर्नी की शुरुआत करें। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
T-10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff.
For three nations, a new chapter in space.
बात को आज वही व्यक्ति ने 2014 में पूरे देश से उखाड़ कर फेंक।
Home Minister Amit Shah releases the Emergency Diaries, a book that chronicles Prime Minister Modi's role in the fight for democracy. Home Minister also slammed Congress for murdering democracy in 1975.
Had we not succeeded with that hit ended the war. I don't want to use an example of Nagasaki, but that was essentially the same thing. That ended that war. This ended that with the war.
Trump compared strikes on Iran to Hiroshima, says strikes on the nuclear program of Iran was the hit that ended the war. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla sets off on key Exum-4 mission, says this mission is the beginning of India's human space program. 4 years after the Antilia bomb scare, big allegation against Param Bir Singh. Salil Deshmukh says he was the mastermind of the plot.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
विमल में गुलिस्तां की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की इस जुबान में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना? विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Where the software engineer meets the gifted content writer, meets the cool UI UX designer, meets the talented photographer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University. So where are you?